LOS stands for Local Outreach to Suicide Survivors. So it's 2 suicide survivors and a mental health clinician that reach out to other individuals who've lost somebody to suicide. And they provide resources, support, and provide that installation of hope. We know that individuals who die by suicide, they leave individuals behind that become lost suicide survivors. It could be family members, it could be students at the school, it could be your church community. There's a lot of folks impacted by one individual who dies by suicide. And with LOS teams, Local Outreach to Suicide Survivors, you're reaching out to families as soon as possible following the death of somebody to suicide. So in many cases, you're going like within hours of the death. And so you really need the collaboration with the local police department. The LOS teams are located, one here in Lincoln, and then since 2009, we have helped develop teams across Nebraska.
I'm Kara Croker, and we are in the beginning process of beginning a LOS team with 4 corners out of York, Nebraska, and we will be serving 4 counties, York, Butler, Polk, and Seward. I am a licensed independent mental health practitioner. I have personal experience, a lengthy personal experience with suicide in our family, suffering loss, dealing with suicide on different levels, I guess I could say. When I see how I can maybe use that, not saying that I have the answers, not saying that I have the formula for everybody, because if there's anything that I've learned, each one of those situations, even in my own life, looked differently, and the responses looked differently. And so just now I can be an ear. I can provide, I can now have meaning and purpose behind what I went through, now to have a little bit different understanding that will help that person to feel understood.
Postvention is prevention. So we know that individuals who lose somebody to suicide and they become a LOS survivor have an increased risk of about 65% of themselves becoming suicidal. And we know through other research that families who lose somebody to suicide and they don't have somebody who's walked in their shoes, such as the LOS team, come in and provide that support, they wait almost about 4.5 years before they reach out for any kind of resources or support. And research shows that families who have contact with the LOS team, that drops down to 39 days. So individuals who have somebody walk in the door, say, hey, I've walked in your shoes, here's some resources, they reach out using those resources within 39 days. And that's a big, obviously significant difference, significant impact.
I think that's what I like so much about the LOS team, is because I think of so many things that would have been so helpful if I would have had that earlier. It probably would have condensed my 10 to 15 years down to a year. And so I think that's one of the reasons I'm so excited about that, about being a part of a LOS team, is because I see all of these things that would have helped so much more urgently or quickly, that it took me all of this time and kind of stubbornness and also re-engaging and all of this. I really like that there is some intentional thought that can help families not have to reinvent this map of help, hope, and healing.
What the LOS team does is they provide that installation of hope for the family, that tomorrow is going to come, the sun's going to come back up, and there is hope, and there is help, and there is healing, and there's a lot of resources available within Region 5 that are going to help these families.